Hey everybody, it's Joe and we're back with 5 more kitchen hacks to find out which ones are hacks and which ones are hoaxes. Hoaxes.
It doesn't sound right.
Yeah, hoaxes. So you ready? Let's get into this. Our first hack involves regrowing green onions that you get from the supermarket. This one was a really easy one to test out. We just picked up a couple of bunches of green onions, cut them down to about 2 or 3 inches from the bottom, and then we just threw them into a glass with some water. After that, we just kept an eye on them for about 10 days, making sure the water level didn't get too low in the cup. And as you can see, they grew really nicely. At this point, we've already cut these down 2 times and used the onions, and as you can see, they're almost long enough to cut down again. Using just water, they're gonna have a pretty limited lifespan, and I can't imagine they'd live longer than maybe 2 months at the most. But if you add a little bit of liquid fertilizer in there, you can probably use them into the foreseeable future. So this one, definitely a hack. The second hack we tested out was the one where you wrap your banana stems in plastic wrap, and that way that will keep them from going bad because it stops the gases from getting out and the bananas won't turn black. To test this one, we got one bunch of 6 bananas. We separated them out 3 and 3 on opposite sides of the kitchen. With the first group of bananas, we wrapped all the stems in double layers of plastic wrap. For the second group of bananas, we just left them loose. We were really careful to keep the 2 groups apart on opposite sides of the kitchen. That way the gases released from the unwrapped bananas wouldn't contaminate the ones that were wrapped. We let this one run for 9 days, taking pictures every day to show the progress of what was going on. The results of this one were actually really surprising. I was expecting the unwrapped bananas to turn black way sooner. But looking at the comparison photos, yeah, the unwrapped bananas did turn black a little bit quicker, but really not all that different. And when we took the peels off, even the spots where the skins had turned black were still perfect. So for this banana hack, even though the wrapped ones were a tiny bit better, it wasn't at all the way it's claimed online. And it was a pain in the ass to wrap them. So I'm just gonna go ahead and call this a hoax. Our third hack involves induction cooktops, paper towels, and cast iron pans. Now the idea is that a lot of cast iron pans will develop little burrs and stuff underneath, and induction cooktops are made of glass. So if you got those burrs on the bottom of this and you're sliding it around on the range, this could actually scratch that glass. So the way the hack works is you just take a couple of paper towels, put them down on the induction burner, and then you put your cast iron pan down on top of that. The paper towels are supposed to act like a buffer to keep from scratching the surface of your induction cooktop, but since it's induction, it should be able to heat the pan through the paper without heating the paper up to the point where it catches on fire. Remember, induction cooktops aren't like gas, they're not using fire. So I put a little bit of oil into my cast iron pan, turned it up to maximum heat, and basically obliterated a piece of sirloin steak for about 20 minutes. As you can see, no smoke, no fire, no nothing. When we finished up and took the cast iron pan off, you can see that paper did change color quite a bit. But why didn't it catch on fire? The combustion temp of a paper towel is 451 degrees. So no matter how high you set your induction range, unless you're on power boil or something like that, you're not going to be able to reach that temperature. Also, you have to remember that the heating elements in an induction range don't actually turn hot. They are reacting with the metal in the pan to heat the pan directly. So whatever heat the paper towel's getting is being transferred from the pan back down to the paper towel, not from the range up to the paper towel. That being said, a paper towel is still flammable. So if you're going to do something like this, I would highly recommend that you don't do it unattended, and definitely not at maximum temperature either. Be sure to keep a really close eye on it, and if you start seeing any kind of smoke or anything coming off of there, you need to get that off of there right away. So when in doubt, always err on the side of caution, or better yet, just don't slide your cast iron pans around on your cooktop. But for the purposes of this video, I didn't burn my kitchen down, so it's a hack. Hey, by the way, if this is your first time here and you want to learn some cool new recipes, get some great cooking tips and tricks and all sorts of other kitchen related things, then start now by subscribing to the channel and clicking the notification bell so you never miss a thing. Hack number 4 says if you just put some non-stick spray on your cheese grater, you'll be able to grate even the softest cheese on that thing without any of it sticking to the surface of your grater. That way you don't get big clumps of cheese on there or a big mess to clean up. So first we just did it the normal way, which frankly I never really had a problem with in the first place. And then we went ahead and put on some of that non-stick spray, tried the test again, and lo and behold, the results were almost identical. The first few slides down the cheese grater were a lot smoother, but right away that changed. Oh, and it made the cheese a little bit oily too, so that's fantastic. So guess what? That is another hoax. For our 5th hack, instead of roasting garlic in a pan, you just roast it in the microwave. Yeah. So what you do is you chop the tops off of a couple of bulbs of garlic, put a little bit of oil and water in a cup, throw in your garlic, and cover that thing up with plastic wrap. Then you just throw that thing in the microwave, cook it on high, and before you know it, you've got some great looking roast garlic. So we did that, we made a mess in our microwave, and look at the result. We got some nice, mushy, gross, disgusting, ruined garlic. Nice and soggy, just the way we love it. Did I mention that was gross? We actually retried this test 3 or 4 times using different amounts of water and oil and cooking it for different amounts of time too, just in case we were doing it wrong. And every time we got a soggy, disgusting mess. The pictures online show it nice and roasted with a little bit of a burn on it, just like you get in the pan. And it was not that. Do yourself a favor and just do that the traditional way. So definitely this one, hoax. If you see any weird kitchen hacks that you can't believe that you'd like to see tested, just tell me down in the comments and maybe we'll throw it into our next hack video. If you'd like to learn a little bit more about Joe's Phenomenal, you can watch a couple more videos or you can check us out online at joesphenomenal.com. I thank you so much for taking a little bit of time out of your day to watch our video. It really means a lot to us and hope to see you again here really soon. So until next time, once again, I'm Joe, and I hope you have a phenomenal day. Take it easy.